Well, this is it. What you're looking at is the new generation Isuzu D-Max Ute. I've certainly been waiting a long time for this, almost 10 years that we've had the previous generation D-Max with us. And I've been very excited to drive this new car. Of course, new generation, new chassis, new body rigidity, new engine, a whole heap of changes. We've got a lot of additions in here, heaps of safety tech. It's a significant upgrade from Isuzu on its stalwart Ute, which has always been a really solid seller, but it hasn't ever really threatened the top 3 on the Ute sales chart. That could change with this Ute. This car has AEB, it has adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring, forward collision warning, rear cross traffic alert, speed sign recognition, speed sign, automatic intelligent speed limiter. I mean, it has more safety technology than any other Ute on sale at the moment. This is a leap forward, it's very significant, and it all works really well. The system, it's developed by Hitachi, another Japanese company, uses twin cameras mounted in the windscreen. A bit of a key point there is it's not using sensors in the front of the car near the bumper where you'd put a bull bar, or you'd get covered with mud and stuff when you're going off in the bush, or whatever could happen there. So that actually helps to mitigate any errors or erroneous faults that could be given by the system. And the adaptive cruise control works from a standstill as well, so you can use it in traffic. Has lane keeping assist, which nudges you if you're moving out, but it also has active lane keeping assist. You can turn that on and it will trace and follow lane markings and curbsides, I've noticed, on the road. So it's like an automated steering assist that you'd find in a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW, or some other makers like Hyundai have the same system. It works really well. Would put it up there with some of the better systems. Not quite as good as some of the best Germans, but wow, we're talking about a dual cab Ute at the moment that has these safety systems in it, and they all work really well. So far the safety systems have been really impressive. Is it enough to make the Ute one of the best ones on the market at the moment? No, of course not. There's a lot more that comes with it. You've got to have a good engine, good drivetrain, good capabilities. Okay, so the engine in this Isuzu, it's got a new block, a new head, new pistons, it's redesigned. We can call this pretty much a new engine. It's still 3 litres large, produces more power and torque, 140 kilowatts, 450 newton meters of torque, and it comes with either a 6-speed auto or a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, of course, something like a Ford Ranger comes with a 10-speed automatic with its new 2-litre bi-turbo 4-cylinder, which has more torque as well. But the engine in this Isuzu, and this is something we've come to expect from, or I've come to enjoy with the previous generation of Isuzu D-Max, is it's just really easy going. It's got plenty of torque, it never feels stressed, it's not too noisy. It's actually, Isuzu tells us it's a quieter engine this time around. It definitely sounds like it. I mean, if you're cruising along and then the engine goes on idle, which it is now, I can't even hear, you cannot even hear it. You'd hear a pin drop inside the cabin if it wasn't for the wind noise. Of course, when you're on the power, it makes a bit of noise, but it's not as chattery as it once was. It's more refined. That comes with some MVH benefits as well. Revised chassis, new suspension. Still have the coil spring front. Still a 3-leaf spring at the rear. It's not a carryover. It did have a 3-leaf before. It's new steel that has been used in the leafs and new dampers as well. The ride quality has improved. It's quite well tuned. It's really easy to drive around the suburbs. Off-road you've got precision, and on the road you've got precision. Very accurate, but very easy going. Nice little bit of feedback. Not too much coming through the front end. It's not too stiff. Isuzu has done a really good job in refining the D-Max from what it was before, and I guess they really need to, because price-wise we're seeing a reasonably significant step up. The top model, that's what we're driving now, the X-Terrain, it looks pretty good. It's got the bigger wheels, the black alloys, it's in this Hero orange paint we're in at the moment. I actually quite like the look. I think it looks really good, but you're talking a bit over $60,000 before on-road costs. and you know, that's almost 10 grand over what the previous flagship model was. So there's a lot you need to be getting out of it. But you do, you've got a much nicer cabin, a 9-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you don't even need a cable, you can use one. It works really well. The stock system's highly configurable. You can change display screen settings for brightness on when it's on Apple CarPlay, when it's reverse camera, when it's got the stock menu on there. There's a lot of settings for audio configurations, settings for the car. You can turn on and off all the different safety assistance systems. You can really configure the infotainment back end. It has a pretty simple software interface. So if you don't need all of that in your face, or you don't care for it, you won't have to have a look at it. So, you know, really impressed with the infotainment system. But you know, the cabin as a whole, we've got nicer materials in here. We've got soft material over the top, stitched in, some harder plastics here. This is a work ute, of course, and we will be reviewing the SX and the base models, which don't have a significant price premium on them, do come with all the safety assistance, but have that more practical, you know, worker vibe on the inside in terms of materials and fit out and rubber mats. That said, getting back to this top spec X-Train, we do have rubber mats in here. We've taken this, you know, mildly off-roading. We're working around the different restrictions in Australia at the moment, so you know, we'll bring you more comprehensive off-road tests. But we have gone off-roading. We've been through river crossings. You know, it has 800mm wading depth. That's up 200mm over the old model. Ground clearance has increased 5mm as well. You now have a standard rear diff lock, mechanical rear diff lock, which we didn't have before. We've got the same part-time, well, we have a similar part-time 4x4 system. You can use it on the fly up to 100 kilometers per hour. So, you know, it's quite a good off-roader as well. We've been quite impressed. We've been on some pretty muddy soil. You know, clogged up the wheels a bit, but we were able to get out of it in full load easy enough. Water crossings are very easy. You've also got a whole heap of factory front bars that work with all the safety assistance systems, and there's a whole heap of other accessories as well. You know, really great overall package here in the new D-Max.